Still November 13th, 2024. Today, oh my god, I went to Golden Cross today. There was men, when I went to the bathroom, they were on the other side of the restaurant talking real loud so I could hear them. They were like, we listened to this today. Do you realize how horrible this is? It's actually horrible what is happening. Horrible. Think that Strange ordered her death and destruction back in '03 because he thought she was following him and Katie. And 6 months later, he made up that lie because he thought she was following him and Katie. The faking you were sick. It had nothing to do with that family. That 6 months before that her father ran a stop sign. And them saying that it offended them, it didn't offend them. It had nothing to do with them. And them lying like that, trying to get people to help out in this is horrible. Okay? And where that guy was standing up to Strange, because he wouldn't correct his wife for swimming in that pool, and he wouldn't shut up about it, with him having all this done to her, he probably did have that guy killed. Okay? We leave there, we go to Walmart. There's a girl in there on a phone. She's walking by. They said Karen was nice, and she was too nice to ever say anything bad about her. We heard what she said about her being Dave's leftover prostitute. Nobody say a word to her. Well, it does make you pathetic, John. FBI agent John. You're dating Dave's leftover prostitute, and you're paying her to date you? You have to pay my ex-husband's leftover prostitute to date you? Ew. Ew. Okay. Now, I didn't put it in a video, but the other day, I went to walk in Walmart. There was a guy with Texas plates outside. He was talking to someone real loud. He said, we were only supposed to scare her. And nobody thought it was funny what that other team did to her. You tell them, one more person touches her, I will cut their head off. I'm like, oh my God. I walked in and didn't even acknowledge it. Some guy said that back by the cooler. He's facing forward. He said, we all heard that guy threaten to cut people's head off if they touched you again. The rival drug gangs. Okay? As I go to walk up front, guys are yelling across the store real loud. Karen's will showed up again to make sure she got no money out of this. One of her grandkids' sons had reported she was weird with herself. No, he didn't. You're a fucking liar. No, he didn't. You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. We're going to put it this way. When all this started, my grandkids, a lot of them were 10. And they were very immature 10. Daniel still believed in Santa at 10. We never talked about anything dirty, sexual, because they were little, around them, the adults. Where my ex-husband used to say we had a rated G house, because we had kids over there all the time. Okay? We never talked anything dirty. They were really immature 10-year-olds. They were babies. Didn't talk dirty about them. They wouldn't even know what that meant. Do you understand? So nobody reported it. I went to Danny and Jen on November 13th, 22. My phone's tapped by the police and the feds. I told them people were making up weirdo molester stuff on me. Danny's like, where on earth would they get that one from? Jen's like, boy, they would be lying, and their pants would burst into flames. And they would be a Pinocchio. As if, Karen, you do anything wrong. And she's defending me. November 18th, 22, Walmart 62. One of the drug dealers, part of the gang, named Eric, they said it was actually him, screams out for Walmart here. The police and the sheriffs and the feds taped him. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it, for all these people to turn on her, and they fell for it. Well, it's only you. I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, and they still fell for it. Christmas Eve of 22, I go to Danny and Jen. I said, do you know where they kicked in my door on the 6th day where we were at the storage unit? Yes. Dave said it was a realtor passing out keys, don't report it. Yeah. Did you know about button cameras? Stalking me? No. Did you know about a shower scene in the other room? No. They look concerned. Like, what on earth are you talking about? I said, do you remember the orange grapefruit size bruises? Lemon all over me. Orange, lemon, and grapefruit sizes. All over me. Almost passed out in front of the neighbor by the second week. Yeah, I remember that. Kept happening. Throwing up, dizzy, almost passing out. Yeah. And then all those bruises. Did you know they were drugging me and telling me to say weirdo stuff and were beating on me? No, I thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy. And I asked him, I said, about that Eric. They're calling Eric. Confessing everything was him and not me. Did you know about that jackass? No. I thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy. I didn't think about it. Kids came out of the room hugging me. Grandma, we didn't know. In 23. Sorry, I got my in 23. On a Sunday, around the first of the year, I had went to a memorial service for her mom, Jen's mom, Nikki. Off in the distance, they don't know I heard them. My grandson walks up to my son and he said, I finally went to Dad. I asked him, what on earth is going on? He said he had hired Pete on his own, and it was Pete and his men, and he has her framed. And he's saying all kinds of crazy crap. Now, I've never met him. And I'm like, oh my God. People were complaining days after that. Dave actually confessed to who did it to her before. They were hoping they'd never find out. A drug dealer. Okay? That Dave hired on his own. Or on this drug scam. The fake sodium pentothal reports, like that little white man coming up to me the first month of the case, for every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you. I'm like, who are you? You try to leave Dave, I'll list you a child molester. Who are you? You know that bruise on your leg? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I use sodium pentothal. No, he stuck me in my sleep again with a date rape drug and told me to say something about wearing the wrong nightgown, bending over improperly, and they accidentally see my butt in a life of pain because of it. Try to leave Dave, I'll list you a child molester for that. Got away from that freak. What did he admit to? He was drugging me up for Dave and telling me to say lies. And Dave debunked it that night. That they only seen the back of my knees and I was dressed modestly. And I didn't even own that nightgown years ago. He made the whole thing up. Now, during the case, and the police and the feds taped all my family defended me. They taped Melissa telling the kids to lie. and seen her friends with the prostitute Michelle, the drug cartel girl. On Thanksgiving of 18, in a legally booked house, they got caught stating they wanted the house for Auntie Shell and Papa. And Grandma needs to get out and look down. They're all in a huddle, laughing, going like this, saying crazy crap. I go up and I sit by Dixie and the new baby. Poor runs up my other granddaughter and said they're saying mean things in the basement. She's like, stay out of it. I go right up to John. What's going on? He's like, I don't know, Mom. I told Melissa you're going to be moving out, going through a divorce. She'll have the kids make up something, but don't worry about it. Nobody could ever say anything bad about you. I'm like, what? He's like, she'll probably have her church people make up something too, but don't worry about it. Nobody could ever say anything bad about you. I said, until I actually moved out or went through a divorce, you shouldn't have said a word. He's like, well, I did, and since it's just going to be made up and nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. They taped it. I went to Dave to clarify everything. I said, I've never hurt anyone. He said, Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You'd never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. I taped it. We talked about Mel going to have the kids lie. John defended me. I hadn't seen those kids, but 4 or 5 minutes out of a whole year, and not alone. Okay. Trust no man. Took that one hard. Okay. I go to Joshy. I've never done anything bad or wrong. I never said you did. Go to his girls. I've never done anything bad or wrong. Yes. He said, I've always been good to you. Yes. I go to the twins. I've never done anything bad or wrong. That's the truth. I've always been good to you. Yes. Yesterday, on the 12th, I was at Shine. Outside was 2 ladies talking. They said they already have her son's tape defending her. They're waiting for one person to put their name on it. That they're going to arrest them, that they were actually in it with Dave. This whole thing is a setup from Michelle and Pete to get my kids and grandkids arrested for being an accessory to racketeering, sextortion, and kitty porn. It's a setup for them to go to jail. This whole thing is. See, Dave hated all of us. Even the investigators have said they all realize he hated all of us. He not all, because if he even loved the kids, he would have never had me harmed. He would have just divorced me, left, and what would have happened? Paid a little more alimony? Got maybe a couple more pieces of furniture that he threw away? Because he threw everything away. Maybe got my puppies that he dropped at the dog pound. He threw everything away and fled the country. So what did they really accomplish besides hurting me? Nothing. Dave fled the country forever and never to return. When the marshals showed up and started arresting people like crazy, and I guess there was some guy in Massillon that was helping him, which is ridiculous. Massillon has no jurisdiction in Perry, and they sure as hell don't have any jurisdiction in Portage County. So what the hell would some dirty cop be involved? Well, they were paying people off. Well, whatever happened, he's no longer there, and Josh said that he found out that no one could ever say a word to me. And the guy is no longer there. He's either in jail or he died. There's a good chance he's in jail. Aiding and abetting crimes and human trafficking somebody, racketeering is drugs, rape, threats, attempted extortion under it, kiddie porn. There's no legal defense for any of this. Sextortion of photoshopping and washing, date rape drug confessions, cyber stalking, illegal monitoring 7 years. My one boss, his sister is a sitting judge in Ohio. Said they can run around telling people they were in your home, but the day they prove it, they will go to jail a long time. Illegal monitoring 7 years without the other crimes. It's a Fourth Amendment over the House. Just like the criminal attorney, prosecutor's office, and police I talked to, Dave can't hire anybody on his own. Now we're going to put it this way, FBI agent John. December 14th, 23, 4:45 p.m. In that day, I had to go take care of this elderly lady in the morning, a total care client in the afternoon, and I was supposed to go back and help that elderly lady at night before I went to a midnight shift. Well, I'm starved, so I went through McDonald's on North Main, 4:45 p.m. I pull over to get rid of the pop cans in my car. All these vehicles are swarming me. Out walks this white man with this lady, a little kid, yells out, "I'm Karen's Will." Or no, he said, "Karen's Will is here today. I came down to make sure she got no money." I told Dave I set her up and I stole her money. All the cars slam on their brakes. I go take care of that elderly lady. I go home, get a shower, go out to Hartville, where I'm supposed to spend the night with this lady. Okay? Just to make sure she's okay. The investigators out there said, "We told that guy none of this is funny. We taped him that he was in it with Dave and stole her money. And we know she don't know who he is." By Sunday out in Alliance at Walmart, ladies were out there and said, "Officer Mark told everyone to leave her alone. None of this is funny. The agent over her case got caught. He has taped that he was in it with Dave and stole her money. None of this is funny." Now, we're going to put it this way. By federal law, he was to arrest Dave, Strange, Pete, and everybody that walked in that FBI office for those federal crimes they committed and confessed to him. Now, we're going to put it this way. Where December 2nd, 22, in Alliance, I have a day hop. I have an officer assigned to me. He's with another guy. And he said, "Is that the one that church tried to have killed?" He said, "Yes. I heard she didn't get any money out of this." He said, "No, it's that one guy from the case stealing every dime since the first day." October 4th, 23, in Massillon. That Michelle and Lauren that rides with the big truck guys, the Florida human traffickers, were there, out there screaming. Will said he was stealing the money for us. October 6, 23, they were talking about it in Walmart 62. That girl that's running around telling everybody that guy's stealing all that money for her, it's actually his girlfriend. He's stealing all kinds of money for her. Okay, and they're talking about it in Walmart 62. In May or June of 19, they were in Louisville and Giant Eagle with the big truck guys, announcing here they were stealing for them. Last year up in Akron, they were on the street where I worked, telling the neighbors that they were stealing for them. They tell everyone that he's stealing for them. I met with a friend out in Worcester on January 13th, 23. Okay. He said, "I work in a factory and I raise horses professionally." He said, "I went to one of the drug dealers on the racetrack. They said all the Ohio drug dealers know that you didn't know that agent was in debt to that drug dealer. That's where all this happened." So why, when a drug dealer, a pimp from the drug cartel, walks in, admits that he's drug beat and raping a woman, didn't arrest him for his confession. He was cyber stalking, had fake sodium pentothal reports, and photoshopping and washing. Selling kiddie porn, a little kids going potty, was human trafficking a victim under drugs. And Dave saying he hired him, and a cult leader saying he ordered it in '03 because he called me a faker. And arrest him for all being insane with a stupid stunt. By federal law, they were ordered to be arrested. Instead, he went around telling all the church people that I called the FBI hotline. Told him he was going to help out. Seen by the police in hundreds, and telling everybody he knew I was being drugged, beaten, raped, and didn't care because it's strangest lie. And he was even going to defraud me and turn me back over to him. Told Apostolic Church of Barberton that. Can you imagine an agent saying that? A federal cop. Aiding and abetting crimes. So, we're going to put it this way. So, where my ex-husband hit me with a board in the face on the third or fourth day up there, he ran off to the store. The neighbor said he yelled out, "I don't want my wife anymore. Will you all help me get rid of her?" They all agreed to help, and it was the people in the store of Ravenna, Pete and his gang, in her home before. Okay? Now, I want you to think about this. Now, if you owed that money to that drug dealer, the other drug dealer said you had problems with prostitutes, and a prostitute is saying you're stealing for her. Yeah. So, were you part of the whole setup where they had tried to have me killed 4 times, so they decided to frame me? Set up button cameras, photoshopping, washing. In the other room, be stupid enough to confess, and drugged me and told me to say it before several times, and that they framed me and laughed at me in front of the police and the FBI, and they made fun of the FBI. So, were you part of it with Pete setting up the whole drug scam? And then scare me into calling the FBI hotline? So you could pick up the case, so you could steal from the federal government. Were you part of the whole scam to steal, so you could pay off your prostitute debt to that drug dealer? So, FBI agent John, is that what's going on? Because you're dating Dave's leftover old prostitute that you're paying her my informant money to date you because you're so pathetic you have to pay a prostitute to date you? Because you got to think. I called the hotline. I have them nailed. I have 3 witnesses in the mall. They're saying that it's been them trying to kill me. 2 Perry police reports of attempts on my life and witnesses of the other ones. No witness of them impersonating me. They drugged me up so bad, I can't even hardly wake up the next day and the phone's ringing. It's him leaving a voicemail. Let it go to voicemail, wake up later, have to hold on to the wall to get to the refrigerator, to the bathroom, get back in bed, listen to the voicemail. This is agent da-da-da, call me back. And they have his number because they're cyber stalking me. Call him up, keep me drugged up. So I can't get out of bed for 2 more days. 3rd day, I make myself get out of bed. Call one of my witnesses. Go out and buy her card, put that agent's number in it. Go up to Apostolic Church, drop it off at the mall. Manager puts it in her locker in a card. Paul Paymer gets in Dave's face. My God, I have an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off. How dare you bring the FBI up here with threats on her life? Women, I walk off, women come up, she's being drugged, being raped, don't care. I lost 18 pounds covered in bruises, severely infected, and I thought it was dirty well water showering and it was killing me. I go in and I sit down, they follow me and say it again. He said he knows if she's being drugged, being raped, and he said he didn't care if she's going to be faking she was sick and faking she got well while that family was grieving. And if she was going to be mean to their women, I found out it was supposed to be Katie, Tim's girlfriend. The riffraff had to tell me. I hadn't talked to her in 7 years. He was going to turn her back over to him. He told him he was going to defraud me. Dave comes in, let's go, threatens my life, and punches me in the truck all the way home. Run from him. Next day, I called that agent. He confesses on a recorded line that he told on me several times that he had met with that family in his office and all those church people, and he knew they were trying to kill me because of Strange's lie of faking you were sick and faking you got well while that family was grieving. The medication error, medical malpractice. He even knew that. Dave told him that it was the medicine making me sick. He thought they put me on morphine patches. They put me on fentanyl. It's stronger. In 9 months of slowly getting well. In the middle of it, that traffic accident that I had nothing to do with when we were all at home. And 6 months later, Strange making up that lie when he thought I was following Tim and Katie and it was Linda. And she got caught and they thought it was me. Had nothing to do with them. But they needed something to manipulate the people into helping out. That's what those people, how horrible it is that that family had nothing to do with them. And 6 months later, him making up a mean lie on her had nothing to do with them. And them manipulating people to help out. I know, they're lying to people. It didn't affect them or offend them at all. They planned my death since 2003. And they thought of, and that's where about a month ago, I was up in Akron, my car was bugged, the police listened. An investigator was up there telling my client's neighbor, don't say a word to her. That agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything. It was a medication error made her sick before. Why'd they wait 15 years to kill her? Oh, Strange actually, I went and talked to him. Strange actually ordered this in 2003 when he thought she was following Tim and Katie. That they were trying to kill her, and if it didn't work, they were to have her destroyed. No one was to say or do a thing until Dave said he wanted a divorce, and it took Dave 15 years to say it. That's what took so long. They've been planning it for 15 years. That agent needs to get his facts straight. Tell everybody not to say a word to her. This whole thing was planned out. Okay. See, that's what those guys were talking about. The police record. My car's bugged, my phone's tapped, my home's revoked. You want to put it that way? FBI informant. That agent opened a real case. And on a recorded line, he met with that family in his office and all those church people. And he knew they were conspiracy and attempted murder, too. Conspiracy to commit murder. And he didn't arrest them. And it's a federal crime. I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well while that family was screaming. It's like, look, I really was sick. He's like, you liar. You say you're a liar and I'll arrest you. I'm like, what? Yeah. Well, I told him someone told on me the night before. Calls me a liar. I tried to tell him some guy threatened to knife me a giant eagle. Calls me a liar. Well, I tried to tell him that he tried to kidnap me before I can say Terry Coverley seen him. That's when he starts yelling about how he told on me to everyone. I met with that family in my office. I met with all those church people. I know they're trying to kill you because it's Strange's lie and da-da-da-da-da. He said, I'll tell you what, even if a church person seen him, they'd never verify it. Well, she did. And the police taped her. So did I with her permission. You want to go there? And it's like, look, I really was sick before. Was there a camera above that bench when you heard that guy? I don't know. Dear God, I almost passed out. He's like, you either say it or I'll leave you there. I'm like, what? He said, I said, say it or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, whatever. Ha ha ha. Now, I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. That's absurd. My whole body was swollen till my knees were popping out of place. Going to orthopedic doctors. They're pulling fluid out from underneath my knees. Prescribed canes and braces because my knees would slide out of place. Thyroid, adrenal gland shut down, mini heart attacks, brain swelling. And it took another doctor to tell on them they were the ones causing everything. And they were known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, making people sick, and ripping off their insurance, and to get an attorney and sue them and turn them over to the state to pull their license. It's documented medical malpractice and medication errors. I slowly got well over 9 months. In the middle of that was that traffic accident I had nothing to do with. It's strange to make up that lie for 6 months later. Had nothing to do with them. They just needed something to manipulate people. It's horrible of them. It's quite evil. And more likely, even those investigators. You do realize, with Strange ordering all this back in 03, where that guy was defying him, where he wouldn't correct his wife for swimming in that public pool. He probably did have him killed. That agent, when he said, I want you to say you're faking you were sick before, I really was sick. To say that you're not sick and you're going through all that is a lie. That's absurd. I said I really was sick. Goes back that he met with that family in his office, church people. He knew they were conspiracy to commit murder. He arrested them. I said I really was sick before. You need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame him for trying to kill you. He actually says that. He was aiding and abetting attempted murder. I said I really was sick. Say it or I'll leave there. It's like, fine. Just don't let him kill me. Ha 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 ha. Why would the FBI help a person like you? It's a sworn duty. I told him, I said, well, they're going to try to kill me. He's like, so? They try to kill me, so? Other agent yells out the rapist's name, the drug dealer Dave hired on his own. Like Officer Mark said in August of 23 in Cole's parking lot on a Tuesday, it's documented and been verified she was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in her home before. He's making fun of me for a drug cartel. So, Michelle Moreland's drug cartel. Get it? I said, he said we could always use Pete's tape. A word with yourself. The rapist's name. The photoshopping a shower scene. March 1st to 3rd of 21, they said they put two clips together, made up one. It's not heard sound. Then later on, they were describing something that never happened, made my stomach bleed. I'm like, you did what else to me? Then it's like, that sounds like showering. Walking outside to smoke. She figured out what they did. May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene was done on purpose. I can go through a whole long list of being drugged and told to say it, to everything photoshopped and framed. Okay? And they all confessed and laughed in the FBI's face June 7th, 23, and basically gave the FBI the finger. Lighthouse Tabernacle and the Dark Cartel, how they made a fool out of FBI agent John. Sheriffs have their confession. Okay? said, what are you talking about? Now, I've never met this man. He's still out there. He's a rapist. He's drug cartel. Running drug scams. Him and his gang of people. That's all it is a drug scam from the drug cartel. Okay? I said, what are you talking about? He's like, stop, she don't know. He's laughing at me. And he says something else, and it has to be another black and blue mark where I woke up with injection marks, bruises, or they laced my Diet Coke when I saw the room. I didn't know they were in my house. You talk about scary movie shit. How would you like to take a drink out of a Diet Coke in the room, go dizzy and black, and hours are gone? And you finally come to, and it's like you're throwing up, room spinning, you're dizzy, you're almost passing out, you got marks on you, you don't know what happened to you. And that's their fake sodium pentothal reports, date rape, amnesia drugs. It's not funny violating someone like that. And them laughing at me for a rapist stuff. I said, what are you talking about? Because I've never met him. And he's laughing. I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about some doctor sign your information. HIPAA violations. They can never talk to anybody without your consent. Like they said, December 31st, 23, they had some guy impersonate a doctor, selling in people's information. It was another pimp. Where I say it was two pimps and a prostitute, it really was. I said, what are you talking about? Stop, she don't know. Why had some lady used my insurance information? Half my medical records are hers for 15 years. It was probably a side girlfriend of my ex-husband's, where now I know he was cheating and he was using his pay time off at work to go out with other women. Ran up all kinds of medical bills. Found out she had 2 little girls. Arguing with the hospital about the getting charged for it, and we got stuck with tens of thousands of dollars worth of copays. Hospital stays, doctors I've never seen. I thought maybe one of them was hers. No, it's just some guy lying. I said, what are you talking about? Stop, she don't know. Give me a rose. And I tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig. Okay, then he asked me if I talked to any law enforcement up there. The only 2 cops I talked to were August 8th of 18 at midnight. I had a light in the security system. They were silly. Told me it looked like an alien orb, angry spirit. I had offered them water. I thought they were dehydrated. They told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bothered. And then he offers to take me and leave me somewhere. And then he offers me the informant program to get information on David and the churches. And it comes with $5,000 a month. I thought, well, I can already do it. He's already confessed he told on me. Met with everyone. Knew the whole scam. Been seen by hundreds and the police telling on me. That's why all the cops will tell you. We all know that guy told on you before. Okay? Then a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again. And only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for work in this case, and you have that money to live on when you move out. I meant to know wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone unless you're crazy, no one will help you. 14th Amendment, you cannot withhold protection. You can't seize somebody's money but due process of law. You have to be found guilty and sued for it. First Amendment, that's where I talk to a criminal attorney with a law degree. That agent is only a police officer. He can't just make up rules. It's illegal. He can't even ask you to stay quiet. It takes a judge freedom of speech. That's what the prosecutor's office and police out of this area. He's only a higher police officer. He can't even ask you to stay quiet. He don't have that kind of authority. He can't talk to you like that. It's illegal. And he can't make up stuff. See, that's where the prosecutor's office said the police know they can't go along with it. He's just making up his own rules. He can't do that. Get the money for working the case and only for working the case, and he cannot withhold it. And no judge would sign his own arrest warrant of taking your freedom of speech away outside a jury trial. Prosecutor's office, criminal attorney said the same thing. And that Dave can't hire Pete, or no one could be in my home before. He can't hire anybody on his own. It's not admissible. Like the prosecutor's office said, it's the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. Nobody could be in your home before. They made the biggest mistake. It's police and agencies only under a threat of life with statements and a judge's order. It's a right to privacy. You have a freedom of speech. Only a judge can take your freedom of speech away. No man can tell you that you can't say anything but a judge. They're your rights. You also have the right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney. No one can drug you either. It's racketeering. And sextortion of photoshopping and washing is just clicking and pasting. Like the prosecutor's office is a big fraud scheme. That agent stole my money and fed me back to the dark hotel. Now he's dating my ex-husband's leftover prostitute. And she's breaking. He's stealing the money for her. Then he has to pay her to date her. You're that pathetic, John. Steal from rape victims to pay off your prostitute debt. You're that pathetic. Someone needs to arrest him for theft and accessory to all these crimes.